Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to the PNP Museum. At this point, we will start the program.
Isang mapagpalayang araw, Pilipinas. Magandang hapon sa lahat ng mga Filipino sa buong mundo. Mabuhay at salamat sa pagdalo sa ika-125th year na anibersaryo ng ating kalayaan. Ako po si Carla Leon. Kasama ko po sa hapong ito ang napakagandang fashion director at board member ng Executive Committee ng Binibining Pilipinas Incorporated, Direct Raymond Villanueva.
Thank you, Ms. Carla. Good afternoon, everyone. You know, we'll make this very informal because, in a way, being independent is becoming formal. Greetings, because we celebrate 125 years of independence sa lahat ng Pilipino sa buong mundo. Isang karangalan na mapasama sa kaysaysayan ng ating bansa, lalong-lalo na sa tayong lahat na mabubuni ng araw ng ating kalayaan. And that is what the kalayaan means. That sound. There's a sound somewhere there. Bilang Pilipino, di ba? Lahat tayo Pilipino at dugong nalalatay mula sa ating pinuno. Taos-pusong ang ating pagbati sa ating lahat. I think a lot of people now are going through this long weekend because it's Independence Day. But we are the first one actually to celebrate our Independence Day. So once again, for a lot of people who are not yet independent, we're celebrating 125 years on June 12, everybody. Because I just came from Manila Hotel, and then, you know, they were rehearsing a while ago for the Independence Day in Luneta. It was so fun. I kept asking everyone, what was happening? Wala lang. Sabi ko, did they know that there was a rehearsal that the president will be arriving? So once again, thank you so much for being part of this afternoon's affair. And then hopefully we will have a mic for us. So this is one thing that we have to be, you know, really focused on this Independence Day. And now I will be very formal, just like Miss Carla.
Tama ka dyan, Direct Raymond. At kasama ko po sa pagpapahayag ng karangalan na tayong mga Filipino ay may taglay na kakayahan na dapat may pagmalaki sa anumang larangan. Yeah, right, no?
Yes.
Say yes. Because you know what? We are celebrating because this is our independence. and we have to celebrate our heroes as well. And so, of course, direct.
So how do we start the Independence Day celebration? Why don't we all stand up and have...
Yes, to formally start our 125th Philippine Independence Day, may we request everyone to please stand up for the opening prayer to be led by Mr. Roy Bato, CEO and President of IBS Media Group and President of Kapisanan ng mga Broadkaster ng Pilipinas, Calabarzon.
Let's put ourselves in the presence of our Lord. Gracious and loving Creator, on this momentous occasion, we gather in unity and gratitude to celebrate the 125th anniversary of independence of the Philippines. We bow our heads, open our hearts, offering this prayer to honor the journey and the spirit of our beloved nation. We thank you for the countless blessings bestowed upon our land, the beauty of its islands, the richness of its culture, and the resilience of its people. The 125 years our nation has stood strong, facing challenges, overcoming obstacles, and forging ahead with unwavering determination. As we commemorate this milestone, we remember the heroes and heroines who fought tirelessly for our freedom, the courageous men and women who sacrificed their lives for the ideals and liberty and justice. We honor their legacy, their unwavering spirit, and their unwavering love for our homeland. Finally, we offer our gratitude for the gift of independence, for the opportunity to shape our own destiny, and for the privilege to call the Philippines our home. As we look back with pride of the past 125 years, we look forward with hope to the future, trusting in your divine providence and guidance. In your holy name we pray, Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the Philippine National Anthem.
Ng ating pagkatao, ng ating lahi, ay ang dugo ng kabayanihan. Mula sa mga bakas na iniwan ng ating mga ninuno, ating ipinagpapatuloy ang kanilang kasundan sa mga paraang hinihingi ng anumang panahon. Paglaing ang itinama ng kamitingan at inspirasyon. Dahil ang apoy na sumiklab ng siglo na ang nakakalipas ay namumuhay pa rin sa atin hanggang ngayon.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. So, ladies and gentlemen, this year's celebration of the Philippine Independence Day actually has a theme. It's called Kalayaan 2023, Freedom. And because of that, it has always been the bagong Pilipinas, ang diwa ng pagkakaisa, living in a bayanihan spirit. In English, well, that was English actually. Freedom 2023, the new Philippines, the spirit of unity, living in the spirit of communal unity and cooperation. For short, sana lahat tayo makaisa.
Tama. And ladies and gentlemen, and for our very special guests, we would like to present the facts about the Philippine Independence Day. Let's watch this.
Kalamihan ang kabile, ngayong ikatabi na tuwang ng Hulyo, 1,800, siyam na tuturo sa harap ko, o ang Grocer and Sares Bautista, Oliver Figuera at sadyang komisyonado na itinalaga upang ipahayag na at para alam ng tanging araw nito na pamahalaang diktatorial sa Pilipinas ayon sa kalatas ng kataas-taas ng diktator Don Emilio Aguinaldo ni Juani tayong mga nagkakatimon ng sinagda sa lugar ito ay pinakayag natin ngayon at pinasisinayan sa pangalan ng buong Pilipinas ang ating karapatan na pamumuhay ng maraya at nagsasarili, hiwalay at kalawag-kalawag sa kapangyarihan ng Espanya. At ngayon, hawak mo lang matawag na aking pinapagayway sa harap nito ang kapulungan at nagtutupayawan tayo lahat ng buong taindig na ito'y mamahalin at ipagtatanggol hanggang sa kauli-uli ang patak ng ating dugo.
Can you repeat that? I want to see it again.
The longest.
Parang gutom na lahat. Well, you know, this is an afternoon of interaction. This is an afternoon where we get to meet all these dignitaries who actually have a say on Philippine independence.
Definitely. And of course, this is a very important time for me as well because, ladies and gentlemen, as we gather to celebrate Independence Day of our beloved Philippines, I would like to say a few words. I just put up a little bit of script. So I'm filled with immense pride and gratitude. I have the honor of sharing with you the legacy of a man who is not just my great-grandfather, but a true hero, one of the true heroes of our nation, Colonel Roberto Cangleon. He was a man of extraordinary courage, unwavering dedication, and he was acknowledged leader of the resistance movement. And of course, his guerrilla forces, known as the Black Army, played a pivotal role in paving the way for the liberation of our homeland in Leyte. And so his contribution, along with his army, of course, is not just a series of battles won, but a testament to the indomitable spirit of the Filipino people. This island, Leyte, served as the entry point for the United States Army. And of course, this was led by General Douglas MacArthur and into the Philippine archipelago, leading to the defeat of the Japanese forces. It was during these crucial moments that the Colonel Cangleon's leadership shone the brightest, and I'm very proud of him for that. Because right now, today, I am experiencing the freedom that he fought for. And so, I know, right? It's too touching. But you know what? We have heroes as well. Yeah, well, in all of us actually, because we have heroes. We have superheroes, everyday superheroes every single day, even until now. And of course, as we celebrate Independence Day, so let us remember everyone, all the heroes in our lives who fought bravely for our freedom and who are continuously fighting for our freedom until now. And of course, for our collective courage, resilience, and unwavering dedication for us Filipinos, our stories are not just stories. They are part of our freedom. So, mabuhay tayong lahat. Mabuhay Pilipinas.
We need that, diba?
Yeah.
All of us have relatives who have really done something for the country.
Yes. All right. Now.
So, that's the most important. Also, are all these heroes who are going to talk about being a hero later.
Tsaka meron din tayong special guest here.
Would like to start off with to render his welcome remarks and acknowledgement of the guests and speakers who are just here. Please give a warm welcome to the Public Chief Info Division, Colonel Berengito Malabet Jr. He's here right now.
Yes, he's here.
I remember he was the first one here. Hello, Colonel. Thank you.
Magandang hapon po sa lahat. I'm representing actually Colonel Lou Evangelista, the Director of the Police Community Affairs Group of PICAG, under the supervision of the Directorate for Police Community Relations. So I will be reading his prepared speech for the welcome remarks, and I would like to greet our esteemed guests and distinguished speakers, so I'm sure will be introduced later as the program progresses. So, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to each and every one of you as we gather here today to commemorate the 125th anniversary of Philippine independence on this momentous occasion. We come together as a nation to celebrate not only the freedom we gained over a century ago, but also the enduring spirit of unity that has defined us as a people. Today we stand on the shoulders of our forefathers who fought valiantly for our liberation, braving countless hardships and sacrificing their lives so that we may live in a free and sovereign nation. Their unwavering determination and unwavering belief in the power and spirit of unity or bayanihan continue to inspire us as we navigate the challenges of the present and envision a brighter future for our beloved Philippines. The theme for the year's celebration, Kalayaan 2023, Bagong Pilipinas, ang diwa ng pagkakaisa, living the Bayanihan spirit, is a reminder that no matter our differences in backgrounds, beliefs, or aspirations, we're bound together by the common threads of our shared history, culture, and aspirations. In the face of adversity, our strength lies in our ability to come together, to embrace this diversity, and to work hand in hand towards a common purpose. Bayanihan, or simply unity, has always been the cornerstone of our nation's progress. It was through the unity that we overcome colonial rule, that we weathered through turbulent times, and that we continue to build a more inclusive society. Today, let us not only reflect on the struggles and triumphs of our past, but also recommit ourselves to the values that we have propelled us forward. Let us celebrate the diversity that makes us strong and the unity that binds us together. Together, we can overcome any obstacle, realize our collective aspirations, and forge a brighter future for generations to come. On this historic occasion, I invite each and every one of you to embrace the spirit of unity and carry with you in all that you do. Let us honor the sacrifices of our heroes by embodying their indomitable spirit, by fostering cooperation and understanding, and by working towards a Philippines that upholds the principles of justice, equality, and inclusivity. May this 125th Philippine Independence Day serve as a reminder that we can stand together. There's no limit to what we can achieve. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas, mabuhay ang ating kalayaan. Maraming salamat po. And welcome again to PNP.
Colonel Malabit from the Public Chief of Info Division of the Philippine National Police.
As Filipinos, how do we dignify ourselves? How do we express certain rights as we can exercise and liberate us from many oppressions, much so with our overseas Filipino workers? One of our guest speakers this afternoon, please welcome the Undersecretary of the Office of Migrant Workers Affairs under the Department of Foreign Affairs. Let us all welcome Honorary Eduardo de Vega.
Not the picture I sent you, but it's even better what you had. Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas. So, I'm the Undersecretary for Foreign Migrant Workers Affairs with the DFA. Slowly, we're phasing out, but I'm still around because there's a new department. I'll discuss that later. No? But let's go very briefly. No? I titled my short presentation, A Journey of Heroes, the Filipino Nation Overseas, because we are all heroes, but we've all heard about the expression about our kababayans abroad being heroes. How are we protecting them? How are they defending their rights? So let's make it brief. Very briefly, we know, next slide, please. Next. Oh, we all know these statistics. 11 million Filipinos living and working outside the Philippines. Out of the 11 million, about 5 million are temporary workers. So that means we actually have half of the Filipinos abroad are permanently there. They're workers, but some are already permanent residents, spouses maybe of locals, and or even foreign citizens already, but they're still of the Filipino nation, remitting that much money. There are few countries where the remittances of foreign remittances from their nationals is such an important part, and they support their families. No, so we always say this. No, kami mga diplomats abroad, our OFWs are the real ambassadors. Our overseas Filipinos are real ambassadors. Okay, I was ambassador before to Mexico, then to Belgium and the European Union. No, Belgium, Luxembourg, the European Union, based in Brussels. This is what we say, what we all say. Well, I'm here now. We're temporary. Ambassadors are temporary. But you, mga kababayan natin abroad, they're here. You're here. And many of you are permanent residents. So the impression of our country in foreign countries is not usually based on what our ambassadors say. Because, of course, if I'm an ambassador and they say, oh, my country is good, yeah, of course they know that. They know that. I mean, they know I will say that. I'm an ambassador. Ano naman sabihin ko, abroad, alam mo, huwag kayo mag-invest sa amin. Alam mo, huwag kayo mag-turista sa amin. They've heard that before. They based it on how they view our workers, and they view them very well. So they're members of the family, not yet, members of the families. They stay the very best of the Philippines. They're real ambassadors, and we salute them. Alam natin yan. Next. But that's, they, they've always uh, they've always traveled. No, there's a misconception that the OFW thing is a fairly recent phenomenon, maybe starting in the 80s when Secretary Blas Ope, father of current migrant worker secretary, started this deployment system first in the Middle East. And or some say, oh no, 1906, yeah, correct. The Filipinos first to the US. No, but there were Filipinos even before, well, not just in the US, but all elsewhere. No, in the US, as early as the 17th century, may Filipinos na because of during the Spanish period. One thing you will notice if you read American literature, one of the great novelists, Herman Melville, no, his most famous book is Moby Dick. And you know, even in the 18th century, there were Filipinos on those ships from Connecticut and so forth, which were hunting whales. And in his books, he always writes about these Manila men, but he spelled it with two L's, Manila men, Manila men. I mean, but it's there. They're known. Louisiana, also the famous Cajun and Creole locals there. They're a mix of French and obviously African, Native American, and possibly probably Philippine blood. No, okay. So they follow. By the way, ano pa? They follow the footsteps of our heroes because isa pa sinasabi namin sa abroad, do not be embarrassed. Some of them feel, oh, I'm just an OFW. No, Rizal wasn't an OFW. He was a doctor abroad. Mabini, Luna, the painter, Juan Luna, no? By the way, I was recently in Madrid, and that's one of the greatest art museums. Starting a few years ago, they put the painting of Juan Luna. Imagine, kasama ng mga Spanish painters, Italian painters. There is no other Asian painter there, no? Lopez Haina and so forth. As early as the 19th century, they were abroad. Next. So, our overseas Filipinos deserve one of the best. Of course, it's one of the three pillars of Philippine foreign policy, aside from the usual protecting our national territory, and we know how we always, I think you know what we're talking about how diplomats, we're talking about a certain country, I don't have to emphasize that. Economic diplomacy is the second, but assisting nationals. So we have this assistance to nationals fund, that's 1 billion, that's $20 million, 200 million for legal assistance. There is no other country which gives from the budget ng taong bayan, gives that much money to protect, to protect our workers. And we negotiate with foreign countries without compromising our national integrity and honor. All this for the best interests of our kababayans here and abroad. They are not commodities, mga kababayan natin. How do we protect their dignity? Well, I think you must have seen me already discuss this about the issue with Kuwait. They remain our partners, our friends, but heck, if they don't want us, they've already banned the visas right now, we're not going to beg. Like, ayaw, yun yung hanap tayong ibang lugar. Or, if they say, no, you allow yung, kasi ayaw natin muna ngayon mga kasambahay. Hindi naman pwede kasi na-abuse eh. Di ba? May namamatay pa. So we're not going to compromise on the dignity and integrity of our kababayans. Passing of the torch, so I was the last, that one. So the Republic Act 11641 established a DMW, and the DMW will eventually take over completely the task. Now, right now, it's still us because they're still fully setting up. Starting July 1, they will already start doing more work. But the DFA will still have a role because not all countries abroad have a labor attaché. Kung walang labor attaché, kami pa rin yan. So, African countries, you know, even in ASEAN, it's only Malaysia and Singapore which have labor attaché. So, we'll still be involved. And of course, for non-OFWs, mga immigrants na, gano'n, mga turista lang, gano'n, nangyari, we'll be in charge. But we will ever protect the dignity of our kababayans. You know, I was last night at the national, National Day holiday celebration of Russia. Russia. They also celebrate June 12th. Do you remember July 4? Before July 4 used to be our national day. And then, like President Diosdado Macapagal, he honored our heroes against the first revolution and changed it to June 12th, which is now the National Day of Russia naman. So that day it was the United States, now it's Russia sharing National Day. Now, obviously, they are supposed to be world powers, and the Philippines always saying, No, we're not copying them. They're copying us. They're the ones intimidated by us because they know that when we have National Day receptions, palaging maganda yung handaan natin. Palaging. At mabuhay ang Pilipinas, mabuhay kayo lahat, mabuhay ang ating mga OFWs, mabuhay lahat ng Pilipinos sa buong mundo. Buhay.
Nakakatuwa. Alam mo, Mr. Ambassador, maybe you should run in 2024 also. Thank you so much, our Undersecretary. That was really good, and I love that. You know, you mentioned Juan Luna, we mentioned it po natin, si Gabriela Sila, and all these people, diba, that really came out, and now the OFWs are already part and parcel of our lives. But I didn't know how many 10 million? Was it 10 million? 10 million Filipinos. My God, including my sister in Canada. There's only 1 million, you're right. Yeah, yes, that's right. Fantastic. So we're going to conquer the world. Okay, and then all the Independence Day will also be there. Okay, so this time we have another speaker, but he would just like to give a special saying and a special presentation because he's not with us physically. Yes, he's a Hollywood actor, director, currently the president of the Filipino American Chamber of Commerce in Virginia, the United States. He cannot come here because there was no visa also for him. But I'm sure meron. I give you Mr. Angelo Reyes. He's somewhere out there. Hi, Angelo.
So while we are waiting for Angelo, Angelo is yeah, there you go.
He's an actor, everybody, huh? He's a Hollywood actor.
Filmmaker, actor, director. Maligayang pagbati sa ika-125th Philippine Independence Day. Ako po si Angel Reyes, Filipino time filmmaker, actor, director, at presidente ng Filipino American Chamber of Commerce in Virginia, USA. As a Filipino with a mix of blood and dual citizenship, I am proud of the Filipinos' rich culture and history. I am proud of the hardworking and resilient nature of the Filipino people. Despite the many challenges that they face, I am proud of the fact that we are a nation that values family and community, and that we are passionate about our religion and our traditions. I am proud of our strong sense of hospitality, which involves welcoming people with open arms, regardless of their background. I'm proud of our unique cuisine and our vibrant festivals, which we celebrate our culture and our identity. So the best way to dignify being a Filipino Italian American is to embrace all aspects of the culture and strive to learn more about it. So by learning more about the culture, the individual can gain a deeper understanding of their heritage and have a strong sense of identity. That is also important to be proud of your heritage and share it with others. Now, showing others what it means to be Filipino, in my case, Filipino Italian American, and being positive role model can help others understand and appreciate the culture and the individual. So as a filmmaker, I am passionate about creating content that celebrates Filipino art and culture. To continue this mission, I am committed to finding ways to collaborate with people, organizations, and even local and state governments to ensure that Filipino art culture are featured prominently in all aspects of my work. I have also taken steps to engage with local governments in order to promote Filipino art culture. This includes working with city leaders and to host events, exhibitions, and other activities that celebrate Filipino culture and art. I've also worked with local universities and organizations to try to create some kind of internship or program that offer opportunities for Filipino youth to gain experience and exposure in the field of art and culture. Now, finally, I am committed to using my platform to amplify the voices of Filipino artists and creators, such as having a crew and a creative crew of Filipino descent. I strive to create a space where Filipino voices can be heard and respected in the international community. So through my work, I am doing my part to ensure that the Filipino art and culture are celebrated and appreciated both in the Philippines and abroad. I'm committed to continuing to find ways to collaborate with others and create content that celebrates the beauty of Filipino art and culture.
Anything else, Angelo, you'd like to add? That's really true. I've been as a director, I've done so many shows all over the world.
Yeah, what's it like for you?
Oh my goodness. Whether you're in Berlin, Paris, New York, Osaka, I've been to all these countries, the Filipino community, they really celebrate.
Mhm.
And they keep asking me things like, what is tinikling? So I have to explain to them what tinikling is. And, they're really proud of their culture. I think, especially now in the United States and in Europe, they're very proud of being Filipino. And I'm so happy
So
that
as a traveler, how many countries have you been to?
150. And there's only 69 countries in this world. No, I think really, I've been working with the Department of Tourism for the longest time, so we get to travel. And,
So what is it like to be home?
well, definitely the weather. That's why we're all here. Now, there's also a person who will also talk about the weather.
That's right.
Yes, at this time, bilang isang Pilipino, di kalilala natin ang pagiging palaban o kaya lumaban. Pero ang laban na ito ay importante. Kasi we all talk about freedom. Allow us to welcome to his talk the Assistant Secretary of the National Reintegration Center for the OFWs of the Department of Migrant Workers. Like I said, when I come back to Manila, it's the weather that I love. But Mr. Venancio Veni Legaspi will really give us the whole spectrum of living abroad, coming back. Once again, Mr. Venancio Veni Legaspi.
Thank you. Honorable Undersecretary of the Department of Foreign Affairs, Sir Eduardo de Vega, my colleagues at mga kasamaan ko po sa pamahalaan, guest, ang organizer po ng pagtitipon na ito. Isang mapagpalang araw at mapagpalayang araw sa ating lahat. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Paano ko po ba sisimulan? Siguro, work back. 29 years po akong OFW. I started in 1993 sa Jeddah Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Started as an accountant and I retired as Vice President in December 2021 para po bumalik at tamasahin kung anuman ang biyayang nakamtan ko bilang isang OFW. But last year, I was fortunate enough and lucky that Secretary Susan Totes Oakley invited me to join the government. Dahil po ako ay isang advocate at tayo po ay tumutulong na kahit wala pa sa pamahalaan, isang napakalaking karangalan na magserbisyo sa ating bayan at sa ating mamamayan, lalo na sa mga OFW. Last year sa aking maiksing acceptance speech, nung tinanggap ko yung Presidential Award ng Banaag category na iginawad ng ating Pangulo, si Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte, sinabi ko na I simply did what need to be done as a brother to my fellow OFWs, as a patriot to my nation, and as a believer in God Almighty. Itong pagmamalasakit na ito, itong pagmamahal ko ay hindi nasayang dahil nakuha ko po ang pinakamataas na gawad karangalan bilang isang OFW. Ang pagmamalasakit na aking ginawa sa aking mga kapwa OFW noon ay katumbas na rin ng pagmamalasakit at pagmamahal sa ating bayan dahil ang kalagayan at dangal ng ating bansa ay nasasalamin sa bawat mukha, damdamin, gawa at salita ng bawat OFW. Kagaya nga po ng sabi kanina ni Undersecretary Ed, makikita po ang OFW na kasama natin kahit na sa anong bansa at kasama po sila ng bawat pamilya na kanilang pinagsiservisyohan. Ngayon, narito na po ako sa pamahalaan. Ano ba yung mga hamon at dapat nating tanggapin? Mula simula, tayo naman ay isa ng lingkod bayan. Di ho ba? Mula elementary ay isa na rin tayong lingkod bayan at parati nating sinasabi at inaawit ang lupang hinirang kanina. At doon ay nakasaad paano dapat ang ultimate expression ng pagmamahal sa bayan. Ito ay nagtatapos sa linyang ang mamatay ng dahil sa iyo. Sa panatang makabayan, tayo ay nangangako na iniibig ko ang Pilipinas at ang ekspresyon ng pagmamahal ay kailangan gawin natin ito sa isip, sa salita at sa gawa. At bilang mga lingkod bayan, tayo to tuwing Monday, Lunes po ay mayroon tayong flag raising ceremony, di ho ba? At sinasabi natin ang isang katagaroon na hindi ako makikibahagi sa mga katiwalian sa pamahalaan. Pagkos kung ito ay aking malalaman, ito ay aking isisiwalat sa tamang at maayos ng pamamaraan. Ito ang dapat nating ipaglaban. This should be our fight para sa ating bayan. Nung umuwi po ako, bago po ako, mayroon na po rin akong konting negosyo. Part ng reintegration. Dahil po ang reintegration ay hindi yung pagbabalik dito. Dapat, bago ka palang umalis, mayroon ka ng exit plan. Dapat alam na natin kung ano ang dapat natin makamit 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. Otherwise, medyo hahaba po at baka makuha niyo pa yung nationality ng ibang bansa. Hindi na po kayo makakabalik. At hindi na rin nyo masasabing mahal ko ang bansang Pilipinas dahil turn between two lovers na po kayo. Dual citizen. Hindi ho yung senior citizen ha, at saka Filipino citizen. Baka ibang citizen. Bilang mga entrepreneur, kailangan tayong tumulong at mag-isa sa pagpapasigla sa ekonomiya ng ating bansa. Sa papaanong pamamaraan? Sa pagbabayad ng tamang buwis at sa angkop na pamantayan ng standard of service sa publiko. At kailangan kumakalinga tayo sa kapaligiran o sa environment. Ako po ay Assistant Secretary ng Reintegration at nasa akin po pangagalaga ang National Reintegration Center for OFW. Bilang pinuno, the essence of our reintegration efforts is to preserve, protect, and strengthen the Filipino family, particularly the families of migrant workers. Kaya nga tinawag ni Secretary Susan Tots Opli ang DMW na tahanan ng mga OFW. And this is the highest level of compassion we can offer to returning OFWs. And the bottom line is that the making of strong OFW families will ultimately make our nation great and strong. Stronger families makes a great nation. Mga kababayan kong OFW at mga kababayan na naririto sa Pilipinas, pagkaisahin natin ang pagkalinga sa ating bansa, sa ating pamahalaan at sa buong sambayan ng Pilipinas. Dahil tayo lamang at wala nang iba pang pwedeng magmahal ng tunay at dalisay sa ating bansa. Mabuhay po tayong lahat!
Thank you, Assistant Secretary Ernesto Legaspi. I have two mics. All right, so is this country worth dying for? Of course. Yes, many of our heroes, including Josepe Rizal, died for the love of our country. Our next speaker, she will be talking about harmonizing Filipinism of being a Filipino. What is that? So let me repeat, harmonizing Filipinism of being a Filipino. And let us welcome founder and national president of Arts Patriot, Dr. Maria Socorro M. Maricor.
Thank you so much. A pleasant good afternoon to all. It's an honor to be here. And we are celebrating the 125th years of Philippine independence. We all remember that 125 years ago, this is the gift that we received from the Almighty. To be freed from any depression, to be called our own country. And we as Filipinos, we are very proud because we were instrumental for two countries, as I remember. In 1948, Israel were able to get the nation, the Israelites to be called Israel, their country, because of the Philippines. It was a one vote from, there was a tie that I knew, but it was our country who broke the tie. And during the war between Korea, thank you, sir, between Korea and Japan, we were also instrumental in providing food for Koreans. And I studied the Kanaan Farmer Training School in South Korea, and then I learned from them how they treasure where they came from. I mean, they know how to look back. Because when we were served, when we had our dinner, I was surprised that there was a kamote, the sweet potato. And I asked them why there's a sweet potato and you are giving honor to this. And they said, this is our national food, according to them, because that was the only food that was not stolen by the Japanese, because it was rooted under, of course, it's a root crop, I should say. When my friend Agnes gave me this topic, my God, they said, what is Filipinism? Then I have to look at, who is our friend? Google. So I asked Google what Filipinism is all about, because I might get a wrong understanding. Said it's all about the language. Okay, in fact, there was a twist. They said that you use Filipinism and then it is a crooked way of using our language. But I should say that we Filipinos, aside from our mother tongue, what is our mother tongue? Filipino or Tagalog? Filipino. It's not F, it's P. Okay, and then others said Tagalog is one of our dialects. So how many dialects do we have? 7,100 islands. Wonderful. Because what you're saying, in every island, there is a dialect. Is that your answer? Okay. 100 and plus. Thank you, sir. To our good Yusek and to our ASEC here, we are so happy you are with us in celebrating our 125th year of Philippine independence. To be independent and something that nobody can, cannot be stolen from us. And I'm sure by the many dialects that we have, I would say that we still have to be united as one Filipino. And then when we are in overseas, as I have been traveling, you've been to how many countries? I've been to more than 40 countries because of my business and because I'm involved with the chamber, I'm involved with Rotary, I'm involved with Soroptomies and other organizations. But I'm always proud to be Filipino. When I received an award in New York, in Manhattan, then I was the only one who said, all of these things, this is distinct to be a Filipino. And I'm very proud wherever I go. I am a Filipino. And whenever I meet a fellow Filipino, I speak Tagalog. sometimes we have forgotten that. I think that is the essence. Now I am thinking, should I speak Tagalog? Because I am from Batangas. But I said, all these previous speakers, especially our good ASEC and our good USEC, spoke in dollar. It's because we have a guest from other countries. But I guess that is one thing I would like to leave from our fellow Filipinos when you talk about Filipinism. Let's not forget our language. We have to be proud we are Filipino. We are not pointed nose. Okay? So don't try to to change who we are. Okay? Of course, we're taking glutathione and all these things. But no matter what, we are brown complexion. We have to be proud. We are Filipino. What makes us different from the rest if we are copycat? Okay? You know, I feel so sad because the wife of ambassador, when I was in Europe, and it's another women organization, and she was belittling the Filipinos. And I felt so ashamed because she should not speak that way. And during a tour, I did not join because she will be there. And if I could have the chance to tell her, we among ourselves, we can talk anything about us. But let us not wash our dirty linen in public, especially for other countries. So next time all of us are traveling here and abroad, one thing I would advise to all my fellow Filipinos to show our love for our country. When we are in overseas, stand up, be recognized. We are Filipino. To God be the glory.
Maraming salamat po, Dr. Marina. Wow, na-overwhelm ka ba?
Oo, ikaw super. Nako, ikukwento ko lang, may kwento ako. You know, every year in Berlin, there is somebody from the Department of Tourism here. Yes, we have the Berlin travel part. Yes, ITB. So I've been, during the time of Secretary Juan de Teo, I went there 3 times already. And I'm not kidding, they're always waiting for the Philippines. Every time. Tapos they'll all see all the models, the performers, kaming lahat. We're all in clothes, we're outfit. They love our outfit.
Meron na tayong performance.
Meron din. Oo, ito pa. So they'll always wait for the Philippines. Every time the secretary will come in, pagpasok na ng Philippines, si Korea, si China, at si Malaysia will also make their own pakulo. But we say, but this is the time of the Philippines. So they're so excited. The people are so excited to watch the Philippines. And they said, we never saw so much beauty in the Philippines. And that came from the Filipinos. And they were so proud of that. They'd all come to Berlin and they would always talk about that. Bakit? Kasi nga, that was our freedom. Diba, we were so proud of ourselves and we are so proud to show the best. I think that's what we're here today, diba? To show the best. And so far, our speakers have shown the best. If they join the beauty contest, they all won now.
Tama. Tama. And of course, you know, tama nga naman, no? When we're in the other countries, we are the ambassadors of the country.
Here also we are. Like here, when I came here, everybody was so nice to me. They escorted me to the PNP Museum. So I guess people are very nice. Because everybody had a problem coming here. But you go down a small alley, it became smaller and smaller. And there was no parking outside. So this guy said, okay, just for me, they let me enter.
Really?
They're very nice. Yeah, it's a flower.
Wow, it's a flower.
It's my flower.
And the Philippines can never be doubted with its beauty and attractive tourist destination. So let's watch a short video clip from Department of Tourism why Philippines is one of the tourist destinations in the world.
The Philippines has 7,100 icons.
How many dialects do we have?
1,700 also.
So in the meantime, may I ask if you guys are listening? Meron pa tayong pa-contest? Oh, here goes. Let's watch this. Thank you. And of course, it's really more fun in the Philippines. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to deliver her talk on the Philippines beyond tourist destination, a gem in Asia. Welcome, the Assistant Secretary for Tourism Regulation, Coordination and Resource Generation under the Department of Tourism, Maria Rica Bueno.
Thank you very much, Carla. Thank you, Raymond. It's fun watching you host this event. Yes. Pwede pang tourism po. Undersecretary, Assistant Secretary, distinguished officials, colleagues in the government, Philippine government, esteemed guests, to our friends in the media, good afternoon, magandang hapon. First of all, the Department of Tourism would like to thank the organizers, si Ma'am Ness, for inviting the DOT to be part of this afternoon's event. Because kanina pinag-uusapan that we can all become heroes and we can contribute in our own little way. What we have to share with you po this afternoon could be, your own little way. It's a program of the Department of Tourism and could be your contribution to our country in the progress of the Philippines when it comes to the tourism industry. So, but before that po, and it's called the Bisita Be My Guest program. But before I get into the details of the program, I'd like to share with you some good news first about the Philippines. Next slide, please. The success of the Department of Tourism in promoting the Philippines to the international tourism audience has been recognized by many reputable global travel industry organizations and award-giving bodies. So, and this is just for last year, kasi pre-pandemic, the Philippines has been reaping numerous international awards in various categories. But just to share with you the awards, the major awards the country has garnered last year. So, the Philippines was declared the world's leading dive destination at the World Travel Awards in 2022. This is the Philippines' fourth year in conquering the world's finest diving destination. Since 2019 po, we have been recognized as the world's leading dive destination. Next slide, please. On the same awarding ceremony last year, the Philippines was also awarded as the world's leading beach destination. You agree? Very much, di po ba? And the Philippines bested other beaches in the world like Maldives, Jamaica, the Algarve in Portugal, Turks and Caicos Islands, among others. And this year, for the same World Travel Awards, we got nominated for Asia's leading wedding destination. So from beach, wedding, wedding, and even honeymoon, right, Sir Raymond? And we're pitted against, of course, our neighbors, against Indonesia and Malaysia. And Intramuros has also been recognized as a leading tourist destination or tourist attraction, and it will again defend its title this year as Asia's leading tourist destination. And what's more, sa kasipagan po siguro ito ng Department of Tourism. The Department of Tourism is likewise nominated in the 2023 World Travel Awards as Asia's leading tourism board. And of course, this series of awards and recurring nominations for our country clearly manifest the growing global travel demand into the Philippines. Of course, this all would not have been accomplished or achieved without the Department of Tourism working closely with other government agencies, the support po of the other national government agencies. We have a lot of convergence programs and projects with like DPWH for infrastructure development, the OTR for airport enhancements. We also have the BMW, the Bisita Be My Guest is a partnership po with BMW. So last year po, we received 2.65 million foreign tourists. And this is actually exceeding the target of the DOT for 2022 of only 1.7 million. We were not expecting that the revenge travel is real, that we exceeded, our conservative target last year of 1.7 million. This translated, next slide please, to 214 billion pesos in estimated revenues, boosting our gross domestic product in the post-pandemic era. This exceeded our target revenue again of 155 billion pesos, and it's an increase of 38%. These numbers, however, will bring in more meaning if we are to translate this to how tourism activities have benefited our country, particularly Filipino families. And last year, we are proud to say that the tourism industry has generated 5.2 million tourism-related employment for our kababayans. And this again exceeds the target of 4.9 million in 2022. So these are all very good news. Very positive po ang outlook ng ating tourism industry in the country. So that's why very recently po, the President has approved the National Tourism Development Plan for 2023 to 2028, where we envision to establish a Philippine tourism industry anchored on Philippine culture, heritage, and identity, and which aims to be sustainable, resilient, and competitive in order to transform the Philippines into a tourism powerhouse in Asia. Maybe it's already the time for the Philippines to shine. Di po ba? And under the NTDP, we have 7 goals. One is the improvement of tourism infrastructure and accessibility. Second is the cohesive and comprehensive digitalization and connectivity. Third is the enhancement of overall tourist experience. We have very intensive training of our tourism workforce and also the enforcement of minimum tourism quality standards for our various tourism enterprises and facilities in the country. Fourth is the equalization of tourism product development and promotion. Fifth is the diversification of our tourism portfolio through multi-dimensional tourism. Our Secretary Cristina Garcia Frasco is really putting highlight on the a multi-dimensional experience to be offered to our tourists. So it's not only visual, but of course, everything from taste to sound, to feel through our clothing and among others. Six is the maximization of domestic and international tourism. And lastly, strengthening tourism governance through close collaboration with national and local stakeholders. So among the flagship program po of the Department of Tourism under the leadership of Secretary Frasco is the Bisita Be My Guest program, which is a partnership with the Department of Migrant Workers and our attached agency, the Tourism Promotions Board. Just to share you po konting trivia, the idea po came about during the first cabinet meeting last year, under this administration, and I believe nag-seatmate si Sec Toots at saka si Secretary Frasco, and Secretary Toots shared to Secretary Frasco to bring back the idea of Bring Home a Friend. Who has heard po yung Bring Home a Friend na program ng DOT in the past? So that is really very similar. Actually, it's an expanded Bring Home a Friend program. Bring home po itong Bisita Be My Guest. So next slide. So what is the Bisita Be My Guest campaign? It is actually an incentive travel campaign and joining all of us Filipinos, particularly OFWs and Filipinos living abroad, to become tourism ambassadors by inviting foreigners to visit the Philippines and be entitled to a raffle draw ticket to get a chance to win special prizes. Later, you will see po ano po yung mga exciting prizes natin. Lahat po kayo dito pwede. Kami excluded sa department, mga empleyado ng DOT at saka. So the program also features two other components, the BBMG Travel Passport and the BBMG Privilege Card. So of course, our objective really here is to mobilize all of us Filipinos to help promote Philippine tourist destinations to our foreign friends, to overseas or foreign tourists, and to further enhance awareness in the Philippines as a holiday destination. And more importantly as well, to recognize the value of our overseas Filipino workers and Filipinos as ambassadors of Philippine tourism. Sabi nga ni Yusek, those Filipinos living abroad are the real ambassadors because they can talk about everything that is good and positive about our country and about the Filipino people. First-hand po yun, na information. And lastly, of course, this is also a platform for OFWs and overseas Filipinos to reconnect with their families and their motherland. We all know that many Filipinos living abroad may not have gone back home, to the Philippines. So, namimiss na nila. So, for the campaign period, next slide please, this will run for more than a year. The BBMG po is one of the longest, if not the longest, incentive travel campaign that the DOT has launched in our 50 years of existence. We are celebrating this year the DOT's 50th founding anniversary, last May 11 po, yung aming founding anniversary. And we will have 4 raffle draws during this period. The first raffle draw was held last May 11, and a special draw will follow in September in celebration of the Tourism Month. The third draw will set in December because we all know that December is peak season for our kababayans abroad to come home to spend the Christmas holidays and New Year with their friends and their families and their relatives. And the final raffle draw will be sometime May next year, 2024, ending the 50th anniversary of DOT. So there are participants, our target participants here, of course, there are 2 sets. The first would be the sponsors. Yung sponsors po, tayo pong lahat yun, mga Pilipino, particularly overseas Filipino workers, Filipinos with dual citizenship, either living here in the Philippines or abroad, and of course, all of us of legal age. And the second group of target participants would be our invitees. Sino po sila? These are, anyone holding a foreign passport of legal age and has traveled to the Philippines during the specified period. So from January po to April of 2024, or pwede rin any Filipino dual citizen living abroad for a minimum of 6 months, no, prior to the campaign. But they would have to present their foreign passport, no, kasi invitee. How to join? The DOT has developed a dedicated website. You can scan na rin po the code if you want to check out the website. It's bbmg.philippines.travel. So, and then as a sponsor, you fill out the form, no, complete your details, and so that you can be registered as a sponsor. For the mechanics, next slide please. Ayan. So, upon successful registration, you will be receiving unique referral link, no, to this website, which you can send to your prospective invitees, because your invitees po also would need to register sa website. So, next slide. And so when your invitee would click that link, no, they also must fill, no, the registration details as an invitee, and both the sponsor and the invitee will receive a confirmation of that registration to qualify them to win holiday packages in the Philippines. Now, once your invitee would have completed yung travel to the Philippines, pwede siya mag-login ulit sa website to upload two evidences or proof of travel to the Philippines. One, yun pong page in their passport with the Philippine arrival stamp. And then second, social media posting or photo nila, no, showing their travel in the Philippines, nag-enjoy ng mga activities in Boracay, or Cebu, or wherever, no, in Palawan, or even just enjoying the food, no, in Jollibee. So, and this will actually qualify the sponsor to win the major prizes. Next slide, please. So again, ito po yung exclusions. All employees and aming mga relatives na ng DOT na our attached agencies and our partner agency na DMW were excluded from the raffle. Next slide. Raffle prizes. Ito na po ang ating mga raffle prizes. So the DOT has partnered with our national airlines and our several hotels and resorts for the holiday packages, and of course companies. So for the first raffle draw, our airline partner, yun pong domestic ticket, no, for all of these destinations in Camiguin, Siargao, Bohol, Leyte will be provided by Cebu Pacific, and the holiday stays, no, in these destinations will be provided by all those resorts. No, it's usually an average, no, stay of 3 nights, 4 days, or 3 days 2 night holiday package in this resort. And then for our special raffle draw, it's the same holiday packages to these destinations, and our major prize would be a condominium unit, no? It's a 2-bedroom condominium unit sponsored by SMBC, Vine Residences Novaliches, and we also have shopping vouchers sponsored by Rustans and SM. You can see worth 140,000 and diba, 65,000. Talagang pang-entice sa ating lahat, sa ating mga kababayan. Now, the third raffle draw, eto naman po, we're featuring these destinations, Palawan, specifically in El Nido. Then we have Ilocos, Baguio, and Bicol, and you can also see all those resorts and hotels, no, providing their stay or their holiday. And our airline partners for this draw would be Philippine Airlines, Cebu Pacific, and Air Swift for the El Nido package. The major prize would be a house and lot, Amaya House and Lot by Ayala Land. Bongga kasi 50th year anniversary, eh. Golden anniversary. We're celebrating the golden years of Philippine tourism. And of course, 140,000 again shopping voucher, and 65,000 for another 65,000 shopping voucher from SM. And lastly, for our final draw in May of 2024, eto naman, all these holiday stays in these resorts in Davao, Palawan, Cebu, and Boracay, as well as, next slide, Batanes. Diba? Batanes. For this Batanes package, meron siyang nakabundle na overnight stay in Manila. So baka kasi yung mananalo manggagaling sa probinsya, so they can stay overnight in Manila. For the major prize, again, a condominium unit from, meron kaming major prize for every raffle draw, Mr. Raymond. So a condominium unit from Mega World at 1 Eastwood Avenue, and 220,000 worth of shopping voucher from Rustan's, and again 65,000 from SM. So these are all the expected prizes, not to be won by our kababayans. So the more you invite, the more chances to win. Kasi 1:1 po yun. Parati yung Okay, next slide. So the other component of the program is the travel passport. This one need not require yung mga registration, because the travel passport will be available at the gateways, the information counter in the gateways of the 12 featured destinations. So they can pick up the travel passport, and this can be picked up by our foreign tourists. And the mechanics here is that the passport has several suggested or recommended activities to do, sites to visit, food to try, or pasalubong items to buy. And then if there are at least 2 of the suggested activities will be completed by a tourist, sa pag-uwi niya, pwede niyang i-claim some BBMG token or gift. So pampa good vibes for hours, so that everyone can be part of the BBMG program. So at least 2 stamps lang. Next slide. So these are our 12 featured destinations. So Ilocos, Cebu, Davao, Palawan, Bohol, Boracay, Baguio, Batanes, Bicol, Camiguin, Leyte, and Siargao. Gusto niyo na po ba pumunta? Ganon. Ganon. Buy na lang And then, for the privilege card, again, this is available for all foreign and domestic tourists, because this is our, this is in partnership with DOT accredited enterprises. We have a lot of mga resorts, hotels, even restaurants that are DOT accredited. So we have more than 400 participating establishments offering special discounts. They have mga special promos, and this is available sa website. Virtual privilege card po ito. So you can register and get the virtual privilege card, and then you can avail of yung mga these are just sample of the mga discounts and special promos offered. Ayan, the program po was launched last December at the SM Mall of Asia, where Secretary Frasco and Secretary Ople signed a memorandum of understanding for the implementation of the BBMG. I think we'd like to, of course, listen to the message, next slide please, of Secretary Ople for this program. Medyo mahina.
And proud to be a partner to the Department of Tourism in its Visita Pilipinas program. BBMG is a program that is meant to highlight the role of our overseas Filipino workers as tourism ambassadors. In this program, incentives, discounts, and even raffle prizes will be made available to participating OFWs. Bring home a friend, bring home your employer, bring home tourists that will discover the warmth, the beauty, the amazing hospitality here that can only be found in the Philippines. So, thank you for all those who will be supporting the Visita Be My Guest program, and to our partners in the Department of Tourism. You can be assured of our 100% full support. Thank you.
Ayan, parati pong si Asik Benny lang sobrang busy, hindi nakakasama sa mga launch. Pero yes, Since we launched po in December, the DOT has been, aggressive in also holding international launches. So with your indulgence po, I'd like to share with you short clips of some of the international launching events of the BBMG. And the first, next slide. This one po is coincided, hold on please. Sige.
We are grateful for the contributions of our OFWs all over the world, especially here in Japan. And that is why we have prepared a very special guest incentive program for all of you in partnership with the Department of Migrant Workers, as well as the support of the Tourism Promotions Board. The BBMG will allow our fellow Filipinos to invite guests, family, spouse, and friends in the Philippines. The Balita Be My Guest program will allow you to visit all of these destinations from Ilocos, Cebu, Davao, Palawan, Bohol, Boracay, Baguio, Batanes, Bicol, Cavite, Leyte, and Siargao. And what we're looking for is like all of you to join the Balita Be My Guest program.
This Philippines like the world now. You're welcome here and be at home. Be a guest, be a guest, be a guest. In the Philippines, be a guest. This is Philippines, see the sun now. You're welcome here and be at home. Be a guest, be a guest, be a guest. In the Philippines, be a guest. This is Philippines like the world now. You're welcome here and be at home.
Sign up, invite friends and family, and travel to the world's leading beach and dive destination and the world's leading country destination for tourism, the Philippines. Visita Be My Guest in the Philippines.
That coincided po during the state visit of the President in Japan last February. So after Tokyo, we did the launch in Berlin, also in April in Los Angeles, in San Francisco, and we're also doing regional launches. And I'd like to share with you, ito, sige, you want to watch? Ito, yung Soxar dyan in Sultan Kudarat for the regional launch.
Our President, Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., very early on articulated in his administration the tourism is a priority, recognizing the power that tourism holds as far as its ability to change the lives of our fellow Filipinos. We have come here today as well to launch our President's program to encourage our fellow Filipinos to become tourism ambassadors for the Philippines. Whether you are an overseas Filipino worker or a Filipino living in the country, we are launching a program that gives you incentives if you invite a foreign friend, guest, or spouse into our country. The BBMG program offers as well opportunities for you to win prizes. We recognize that peace and order is the bedrock of development, and I greatly admire the manner with which the province of Sultan Kudarat has proven that peace is possible. To all of you, looking forward to the very bright future that awaits tourism in Sultan Kudarat and the entire Philippines. Daghan kayo salamat kaninyong tanan. Syukran.
Ayun po. During the launching po sa lahat ng mga pinuntahan ng DOT, naramdaman po talaga namin ang tuwa at excitement ng ating mga kababayan na makauwi ng Pilipinas at mag-enjoy ng ating tourist destinations. And I'm sure kayo rin po. So sa inyo pong lahat at sa ating pong mga kababayang Pilipino who will be our tourism ambassadors, our tourism heroes, maraming salamat po sa inyong suporta. Isang maalad na pagbati sa pagdiriwang ng ating 125 anibersaryo ng kalayaan ng Pilipinas. Mabuhay ang bansang Pilipinas, mabuhay ang mamamayang Pilipino.
Maraming salamat po, Assistant Secretary Maria Rica Bueno. And of course, Department of Tourism. Can you believe what we have in store for
Oh my
all?
goodness. We will join talaga. I will join. I want the one in Eastwood. Okay.
May
You know-
condo pa.
Yes, and that's very true. When you invite someone to the country, that is actually a small way of being a hero. You know, you're proud of your country. You're going to tell them, oh, these are the places you've been to. You know, I'm very lucky. I get to travel all over. I told you that I went to 150 countries.
Sige na nga.
7,100 islands na ako. And there's
Yes.
so many places I've been discovering. Like, you know, did you know that the biggest statue in the Philippines
Where is
is
it?
found in Bayambang, Pangasinan? It's a statue of Saint Vincent Ferrer, who I didn't even know was a saint. I don't know
really?
the Ferrer, but I did know Vincent Ferrer.
What
And
else is there? What else is there in the Philippines?
Oh
that
my
was
God, there's so many
mentioned?
places in the
Did you
Philippines.
know
Did you
that
go
we-
to Bonggao?
Where's
Tawi
that?
Tawi.
What's that?
Oh, you should go to Bonggao, Tawi Tawi. It's the most beautiful place.
Okay.
They're making it the Maldives of the Philippines.
Ayan
So we
na.
don't have to use that. So
I think
everybody.
so many will learn about it
And
now.
the most important place is SM Mega Mall. Kasi if you go to SM Mega Mall, that is the cause of the traffic.
Yun lang pala yun. That's the point.
Correct. So, okay, everybody, I hope you're
Yes.
not that hungry because we have 200 other speakers.
So while the Philippines is innovating development plans for the betterment of our country, one can never neglect that technology is one of those. So in fact, the Philippines has been tagged as the social media capital of the world. And while we are at it, there's no denying that our technology should be advanced too. Are you?
I agree because everybody's texting.
Yeah, oo nga. All right.
Everybody.
Diba? Wala na eh. Wala na yung... Naalala niyo ba yung PLDT?
Oo naman.
Na ano, yung commercial? ng, ano yun?
Mas grabe, easy call.
Easy call.
Oo, wala, there's no reaction.
Meron yung let your
Puro
fingers...
millennial ang mga tao.
Millennials kayo.
Oo, hindi nila alam easy call.
Ang generation namin, we were born in the
easy call.
same year. And so, yeah. Beeper.
Beepers,
easy call,
diba?
But let your fingers do the walking.
No,
Naalala ko
the
yan.
most important everybody should understand is JRS Express. Okay? Kung may JRS Express kayo na yon, wala nang social media.
At saka nung time na yun, meron tayo, ano yung party line. Diba? Okay, so let us have from the president of the Rotary Club, Makati, Josepi Rizal, Glo Marfori, on her talk on advancing technology towards a globally competitive nation. Let's give her a round. Let's give Glo Marfori a big round of applause. Hi, Glo. How are you? I've only seen you online. Yes.
Thank you for having me. So I prepared my speech in English. I wanted to share this in Filipino, but of course, let's be all considerate. Okay. So, advancing technology towards a globally competitive nation. Let me ask this group, what are we really advancing? What is that element that can set an individual or even a nation to an advantage? Anyone? What is that element that can set an individual or even a nation to an advantage?
Knowledge.
Resilience, yes. Money. Knowledge. Okay. So my answer to that is information. All right. So when you have more information on something, diba, you're set to an advantage. Correct? Huh? So actually, defense uses information, right? So when we present, we use information. In science, information. So everything is information. Because information is power. Have you heard of it? Yes. It holds the lessons learned from our past history. When it's accurate, timely, and relevant to our present situation, Information enables us to make informed decisions and effective actions. Correct? Forecasts, the future, right? Forecasts, on the other hand, give guidance and direction that will lead to opportunities to a better life. Now, even before, we have been developing ways on how to share what we know and where to store what we know. Our ancestors used songs, poems, stories. They wrote on walls of caves, papyrus, scrolls, and even, on skin, tattoos. Diba? So those are the information of their culture, heritage, right? Their feelings and emotions. So now information is digital. From analog, we're now in the digital world. Sharing before would mean we transport filing cabinets, boxes, folders, but now we have microchips that can hold the information of the entire agency. And they get even smaller. And then there are now microchips that can be stored under your skin, right? To hold information of who you are, your whole identity, your whole history. So that's how powerful information now, and we store that on small chips. Now, what we did was to digitize. No? Information has gone from analog to digital, sharing with digitization of hard copies to soft copies. Information has become available and more accessible. Technology is always being upgraded to optimize efficiency in making information more available and accessible, with the time element, which is always now. Diba? So this is our way of life. We have the fast food because we want it now. Diba? So we have in a click of a button because we want information now. You submit it, you want it sent already, right? We have online banking because I want to give money to you now. This is our culture now. It's the now culture. With digitized information that's available and more accessible, manual systems and processes in information handling were always upgraded. Thus the birth of digitalization phase. We believe that digitalization made our tasks easier. It allowed us to save time, save money, so we can have more resources to be allotted in the things we love and the things we like. Now this fueled the creation of solutions and demand to digitally transform all information to give us what we need and more of what we need. Because solutions would improve our way of life. So let me just share you something that our club did during the pandemic, no? About, how we use this information to improve the lives of a lot of people. Because while the pandemic brought unemployment and business closures to highest records, it forced us to a rapid paradigm shift with how to continue living. We were forced to opt out face-to-face meetings and join virtual meetings and online seminars. The malls were those of online stores and restaurants. They come to your doorstep through delivery service. You have the Grab, the Food Panda, right? The certainty of uncertainty fueled the Rotarian way of life, which is service above self, among the leaders of Rotary District 3830. So our club's past president, she's right over there, and then vocational service chair, Elizabeth Raboy. Can you please stand? PP Beth, yeah. She's our past president, is Elizabeth Raboy. She used technology to bridge the information of those businesses needing employees to people seeking work or livelihood opportunities. Businesses looking for avenues to promote their products and services were also given a marketplace to trade. Business communication and events proliferated. So together with Social Cons and Rotary Club of Makati, Jose P. Rizal, we launched our works or Rotary Works. May I ask, can you please play the video, please? So training companies and resource speakers also share self-help topics and livelihood opportunities. With our works, our communication was borderless. Okay, so that's what we did during the pandemic times, and we are now going to do this and reach barangay levels. Because in the barangay, we still have a lot of people who are, you know, when you ask about CV or biodata, they're still in wet inks, right? So we want to help them get digitized information so it would be a lot easier for them to find jobs. I mean, online, you just post it, you share it, diba? You use JobStreet and ourworks.com, ourworks.ph. So let me ask you again. Okay, so if you listen carefully, kanina when I was speaking, there are just 3 points that I would like you to remember from all that I've said. Okay, one is that information should be available and accessible, correct? Number two, information should improve life. Okay. Number three, information is power, but only if you take action with it. Diba? Whatever you have there, it stays there if you don't act on it. So, let me ask you again, how do we advance global competitiveness? We share information that would promote the common good. Let's act on this information to include the marginalized, to balance the scale of justice, bottom line, to improve life. Let's use information to improve life. Be part of these projects, no matter how small they are, okay? Be part in advancing responsible digital transformation. So I'm putting responsible digital transformation. Happy 125th anniversary to everyone. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas.
Thank you so much, the President of Rotary, Jose P. Rizal, Mr. Globa Fori.
At this point, may we please call on the following, the founder of the Filipinos World, Miss Agnes Alimbog.
Hi, Miss Agnes, we can eat already. Everybody wants to eat the rest.
But pinapakit na namin kasi para tayong bandila.
Ako, the person is going to pay us.
Pero teka muna, di ba para tayong bandila? We represent the Philippine flag. Okay.
This is our founder of the Filipinos World, Miss Agnes Alimbog. The next one is the founder of Tagapagtaguyod ng Sining at Kultura ng Pilipinas. May we calling once again this Dr. Liz Villaseñor.
And the president of... Okay. And of course, and the president of Kapisanan ng mga Broadkaster ng Pilipinas and CEO of IBS Media Group, Mr. Roy Bato. Yes. And of course, next we have
the representative of MWell of Metro Pacific is here, Tisha Kenito, Segment Head Business Development. She left also. Josh is here. Are you hungry na, Josh? Come na. Because everybody's hungry already. Okay? Thank you, Josh.
Welcome, Josh. And of course, may we also call some of our distinguished guests to please have the honor to present some tokens.
Yes, cash. Okay. Let's start off. Also, can we call it Mr. Nelson Aguila, the Chairman and President of the Aguila Group of Companies.
Yes, he's my very good friend.
Nelson is here. And the President of Dreamscape, Dr. Bertito Hashimoto, to join us because we're going to give cash incentives also.
Ikaw Ang gusto ko yung DOT na prizes. Let's be friends.
We will start off. This certificate of appreciation is presented to the grateful appreciation, outstanding support to the 25th Philippine Independence Day celebration with the theme Kalayaan 2023. Bagong Pilipinas, ang diwa at pagkakaisa, living the Bayanihan spirit. Given this day, the 9th of June 2023 at the PNP Museum, Camp Crame, Quezon City. Signed by Agnes Alibog, founding director of the Filipinos World, and Dr. Fordelis Villaseñor, founder tabaktiliko ng Sining Kultura ng Pilipinas. We give this to the Undersecretary of the Department of Foreign Affairs, Eduardo Rivera. See, you're also our model today, Secretary. The next one, we'd love to give again. The certificate of appreciation is presented in grateful appreciation and standing support for the 25th Philippine Independence Day celebration with the theme Kalayaan 2023, Bagong Pilipinas, ang diwa ng pagkakaisa, living the Bayanihan spirit. Given this day, the 9th of June 2023, at the PNP Museum, Camp Crame, Quezon City. Again, this is signed by Maria Agnes Alibog, the founding director of the Filipino World, and Mr. Fordelis Villaseñor, founder of Tabakilingkod ng Sining at Kultura ng Pilipinas. We'd like to give it to Assistant Secretary of the DMW, Venecio D. Legazpi. Ayan. So you have to open your gift. What is it? What is it? Okay, it's a smartwatch, diba? Thank you so much. To the persons who are not here, thank you for coming. Okay. Again, this certificate of appreciation is presented in grateful appreciation of outstanding support to the 125th Philippine Independence Day celebration with the theme Kalayaan 2023, Bagong Pilipinas, ang diwa ng pagkakaisa, living the Bayanihan spirit. Given on this day of the 9th, June 2023 at the PNP Museum, Camp Crame, Quezon City. And it is again signed by Maria Agnes Alibog, founder and director of the Filipinos World, Dr. Fordelis Villaseñor, founder of Tagapagtaguyod ng Sining at Kultura ng Pilipinas. We give this to
Assistant Secretary of Department of Tourism, Maria Rica Bueno.
And we will raffle now. Pwede ba i-raffle na yun?
This certificate of appreciation is presented in grateful appreciation of outstanding support to the 125th Philippine Independence Day celebration with the theme Kalayaan 2023, Bagong Pilipinas, ang diwa ng pagkakaisa, living the Bayanihan spirit. Given on this 9th day of June, 2023 at PNP Museum, Camp Crame, Quezon City, Philippines, signed by Maria Agnes Alimbog, founding director of the Filipinos World, and Dr. Flor Delis T. Villaseñor, founder of Tagapaguyod ng Sining at Kultura ng Pilipinas. May we call on...
Oh my God, the president of the Jose Rizal. Makati Rotary Club, Mr. Globis Marfori.
Thank you very much, kasi as we come dito.
Thank you also. Would you like to give other awards?
Wait, before anything else, we would like to thank Nelson. Thank you so much.
Okay. Diba? So at this point, sana kakain na tayo. Pero, we will show you some important videos again. Because without them, wala din kami. Okay? So we have from Ibisan and Love Model and M. Well. They'll be joining us. So, if you're looking for something to disinfect your home or commercial building, we use LED Nano Light, Levin Light. I love that. Sterilization lamps are the perfect choice. The lamps that keep safe from germs or bacteria. So you will show it before we eat.
Wala akong sabi. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas.
May raffle kami, ha? Don't leave.
Yeah, you know, we have raffle.
Yeah.
Bago kumain, pagkatapos na kumain.
Yes, the Bentley is outside, ha? We're raffling a Bentley here.
You have fun. Yeah.
So we're showing this video.
In the meantime, if we cannot, maybe we can have a commercial break.
Commercial break by buying the LED Nano Light Levin Light. So we're going to show that. It's also by Ibisan Malaysia. It's also looking for distributors in the Philippines. We should distribute that now. The Ibisan lights will be available in the Philippine market by today, June 9, 2023. There they are.
No. Are you still exposing your family to germs? EVLN damages the DNA of these organisms and prevents them from replicating, reducing the risk of infection. It can be used in living rooms, kitchens, and bathrooms to eliminate germs from surfaces in the air. An effective way to maintain a clean and healthy living environment for families. EV LED nanolights do not require chemicals, hence zero harmful chemical residues.
Lab Mobile manufactures a highly distinctive and exclusive range of interior solutions that combines functional excellence with design appeal. Solutions with integrated, innovative ergonomic features to well-designed workplaces. Our company is based on the inherent values that shape the core of who we are. It is through our living values that we continue to fulfill the promise of our ideal and environmental design standards. Each and every groundbreaking product we've introduced over the years has been the result of our team's hard work and dedication to provide our absolute best to who we care most about, who is our customers. Whether the job is big or small, our team is used to solving complicated tasks and makes sure to get projects to successful completion. Whether it is local or global. This is why Labmodo is known as one of Europe's leading manufacturers of innovative system solutions for devices used in laboratory facilities, hospitals, and educational facilities. Solutions that can be easily adapted to the growing needs and workflows demands of the future. Lab Model, designing safely.
Sabi ko na ng umaga ay i-launch din natin ang isang project ng Department of Migrant Workers sa MWEL.
Ang kagandahan po ng MWEL, meron siyang capacity to send the health pass and buy the consultation pass or anything that you want buy and give it as a gift to your families and friends there digitally. Para alam nyo na yung ibibigay nyo na pera ay talagang para dun sa health nila. At napag-usapan din namin ito kahit na gabi about din sa wellness, kailangan ng preventive wellness. Kasi alam po namin ang sacrifice nyo na tayo dito para sa pamilya nyo, kapag sila kapakain. So ang kailangan na take care nyo yung sarili ninyo in terms of your health wellness. Kasi your investment to your health is the one that makes you stay here. So, yun. Ang ating MWEL na platform ay libre po in terms of access to exercise programs, food and nutrition, and wellness store. Kaya po kami ay kasama po kami dito sa PNW, sa OWA, at saka sa Kalusugan General, na para po makaputik po kayo lalo. So, kasama niyo kami, maraming salamat.
So everybody, whether you're looking to disinfect your home or commercial building or office, these sterilization lamps are the perfect choice. The lamps that help keep safe from germs or bacteria. That's so important right now. So EV Sun Malaysia is looking also for distributors in the Philippines. EV Sunlight will be available in the Philippines once again today, January 9, 2023. No, I mean on June 2023 pala. These are the two shapes of the EV Sun, the square and the circle. Then, for your medical and hospital system, cabinets or modern school furniture or laboratory facilities, please get in touch with Lab Model via email at info@labmodel.com or visit their website. Please visit their website. You saw the commercial. Look how beautiful those things are. I love them. They look so fashionable. Another thing is for good, healthy lifestyle, and if you want to have a free t-shirt and smartphone, you may download it also in their Play Store. You can show it to the staff of MWEL. So everybody, it's MWEL now after the program for your freebies. Among them is during our light dinner, you'll be assisted by MWEL staff who are here with us. If you have to download MWEL app, and you have the chance to win free t-shirt and smart watch. So those are the portions, ladies and gentlemen, of our sponsors. And at this point, Carla, let's go up on the stage because these are the people who are helping us today. Thank you so much for the sponsors for making this event possible. Without you, I will not be here. Okay, so we have from LV Sun, Mr. Nelson Lim, the CEO and owner of EV Sun in Malaysia and its managing director, Mr. Choi. Is Mr. Choi here? Oh, thank you for coming. Okay.
Lab Model, the owner, Mr. Raider Rasmussen in Denmark.
Okay, he's here also. That's not here.
No.
Okay. And
Special
of
thanks to
course,
the Manila Times,
Yes, and aside from the militaries, we have Amwell Health Company of Metro Pacific. So later they're going around. If you have any questions about Amwell, because we have to get well. Okay? And they're also one of our speakers today. Special thanks to the Manila Times,
KBP Calabarzon, Euro TV News,
IBS Media Group,
BRU Brew Digital,
TV, yes,
and Timpayon Pilipinas Bloggers.
That's the new information.
Where are they? Ayan! Please say hi to all of them.
Okay. Please tell everybody we're celebrating 125 years.
And you've been to
124, huh? 125.
And you have been to 150 countries.
Unhappily 150 countries.
All right, and of course,
Carla, is there anybody you'd like to make that short?
Thank you to my mother.
Who's here right now?
My mother right over there, who is there, and who left me her fashionable dress.
Yes, and now the most important part. We have 5 other people who's going to talk. And then, we will start off with enlivening the Bayanihan spirit in a multicultural Philippines.
Wow, let's watch this.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Undersecretary Ernesto Abelia.
Ako si Ernie Abelia, and it is my honor and pleasure na makasali po sa ating event ngayong umaga na sponsor po ng the Filipinos World at ito pong Kalayaan 2023. Very significant po yung ating tema, Bagong Pilipinas, ang diwa na pagkakaisa, and living the Bayanihan spirit. Ito pong temang ito ay malapit sa puso ko, and I certainly appreciate our program director, si Madam Agnes Aligbog, na ibibigay po tayo upang magsalita sa topic on enlivened Bayanihan spirit in a multicultural Philippines. I'd like to, and I appreciate that, and I'd like to take off on that particular topic, na ang sa puso ko po is to encourage among the Filipinos, and especially among our OFWs abroad, na pakilang po tayo at sumali po tayo, lalo na sa ating challenge na magkaroon po tayo ng panibagong bayanihan. Ang pagbabayanihan po ay isang bagay na naging buhay sa akin, lalo na nung nasa DFA po ako. At nakita ko po na ang mga Filipinos worldwide are very highly committed to their families, highly committed to their tasks, they're highly committed to their jobs. Pero may nakita po akong iba-ibang participation, iba-iba pong engagement tungkol sa bayang Pilipinas. Of course, many of the Filipinos abroad, especially na nasa West, nasa North America, have decided to become Americans. And whenever we interviewed them, parang there was always a little bit of parang sentimiento na nakikita ko, nararamdaman natin. Meron silang parang hinanakit sa bayan. Like for example, I know that they love the Philippines, pero they had a sense, when we were interviewing them, you would get the sense that, and a number of them were disappointed about the things that the direction that the nation had taken, and how so many times they had a very, very deep disappointment with government, especially for what they feel na parang hindi ginawa ng mga gobyerno, ang nararapat na ginawa para hindi sana sila umalis. So, ang po natin, ang pag-uusapan po natin, I'd like to touch on this morning as about 2 or 3 things. Number 1, kung bakit kailangan natin manumbalik sa isang panibagong bayanihan. Unang-una po, there are so many things that we can be proud of about the nation of the Philippines. Among others, unang-una po tayo, Philippines is the first Asian country to have a republic, to become a nation that is not governed by a king or a datu, but a nation that is governed directly by the people by their power to elect. Ito po yung nangyari nung sa Malolos, where we established the first Philippine Republic in 1899. It's something that we need to be very, very proud of. Pero ito po isang bagay na parang nalimutan natin dahilan sa mga kaganapan ng ating history. Alam po natin, and maybe we need to remember, we need to remind ourselves that this was actually a shining moment. The Malolos Republic should have been a shining moment to us because it was the time when we actually stood up against our colonizers, who've been overpowering us for the past 300 years, and we decided to stand up for our own nation, for our own rights, for who we are as a people. Ang nangyari po, as we very well know it, while the Philippine Republic was alive from 1899 to 1901, alam po natin ang nangyari eventually. Eventually, when the Americans came, at nagkaroon po sila ng parang mock battle of Manila Bay, kung saan ang mga Espanyol, instead of surrendering to the Filipinos because they had already been defeated, they decided to surrender to the United States para hindi naman sila papaya. Kumbaga, and then they also received a remuneration of about $20 million. And then, ang nangyari po ay nawala sa atin yung that particular historical moment that was actually ours. It was something that we could be very, very proud of. So that whenever we celebrate, for example, our Independence Day, which is June 12, ay isang bagay na masaya. But you know, if you notice, people hardly even care about the June 12 Independence Day. Why? It doesn't have any meaning for us. Why? Because it was stolen from us. Nanakaw sa atin, nawala sa atin yung moment na yun. And so, it's something that we need to recapture ourselves. It's something that we need to tell ourselves once more that tayong mga Pilipino ay we have a lot of things to be proud of. Right now, of course, it's a lot of difficulty. Marami po tayong dinadaanan. Among other things, for example, we need to remember that it's hindi kaila sa atin that about 4,000 to 5,000 people, 4,000 to 5,000 Filipinos leave the Philippines every day. That's about 150,000 people monthly leaving the Philippines to go abroad to work, either short term or for long term. And that's about 1.8 million Filipinos leaving the Philippines every year. While we appreciate the fact, we certainly appreciate the fact that it's the Filipinos abroad who keep the nation afloat. Kasi po talagang, kaya po nag-aalis ang ating mga kababayan, dahilan sa, ang laki po ng, there are no job opportunities, not enough job opportunities. Or we have what we call underemployment. May mga trabaho nga, pero hindi naman talaga nakakasuporta talaga ng pamilya, hindi talaga nakakasuporta ng mga adequate ng sapat. So many Filipinos leave, and of course they send back their support. That's about $12 billion a year, 12 to 13. And you can imagine the actual help that Filipinos abroad are actually able to give to us. However, it comes also at the social cost. Hindi naman pwede na ibase natin ating progreso sa mga Pilipino na abroad at nagpapadala lang ng pera sa atin. It comes, like I said, it comes at a great social cost. And so many families are broken. So many families have become very weak and fragile. And that's why nagkakaroon tayo ng great social dysfunctions. Now, what can we do? What can we honestly do? Alam po yung ating gobyerno, the way the Philippine society is run, is we have the government of that, and we have business here, and itong dalawa po ang nag-decide na kung saan ang takbo ng ating bayan. During some of you may remember that I ran for president, in the past 2022 elections. It was something that was motivated not out of political ambition, but out of a desire, not a desire, out of a compulsion to be able to do something in terms of helping bring about change. Ang isa pang na-discover na natin doon is, ang dami po talagang hirap. Ang dami ng mga kababayan natin na hirap. And many times they point to policies, government policies that work against them. Like for example, like for example, sa a number of our yung mga nakausap din natin ay mga magsasaka. And sinasabi na how can we support, how can we survive when the rates are so, yung mga bilihin, yung mga inputs, farm inputs are so high, and there is a price ceiling above. Now, I understand, I understand where, I understand po yung mga price stabilization laws, kung bakit nila ginagawa yan. Pero on the other hand, there are other solutions to these problems, to these challenges that are facing us. Paano po ang mangyayari sa ating mga tao? Well, it looks, if you connect the dots, it looks like, sabi ko, kailangan ko, saan nangyayari sa inyo? Sabi for example, some of the farm inputs, a lot of the farm inputs actually kill the land. So sabi na nagiging useless. So sabi ko, anong ginagawa niyo? Sabi binibenta namin. Sabi ko, kanina binibenta, sila magbibili niya patong mga lupa. Sabi ginagawang subdivision. So you see, what happens is, it seems like there's a vicious cycle na umiikot, na kung saan, ang mga tauhan po natin, yung mga magsasaka, the other people who rely on agriculture, they lose these advantages, and what happens, they lose their comparative advantage, and the advantage is many of them become part of the 45,000 people living every day. They become part of the low-skilled army going out, serving other nations. And then they sell their labor, and then they send back a little bit of money every month. And that's how we survive. And isa pang is because we keep receiving monies on a regular basis from abroad, many of the families just wait for these monies. Why? Because there are also no jobs in the. So what happens is when they have the money, they spend it. Many times, that's exactly why we have become a consumer culture. And that is why we have some of the most beautiful malls in all the world. Why? Because money comes in, we spend it, we go to the malls, and that's how we live. We live in a mentality that is not sustainable. Not sustainable. And this is what we desire sana. Ang leaders liderato natin, biyano natin, mga liderato, for example, the local governments all the way up to the national government, need to be able to come together and put together our minds and hearts so that hindi natin, so that we, but anyway, one of the reasons why we have such weak infrastructures is because many of our people, many of our leaders also extract rent. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng rent? Ibig sabihin, meron sila mga polisiya na ginagawa na lahat sila may nakagawa for every project. They extract rent. So mayroon, kunyari, there's a project that should be ₱1 million. Pero kung hatian mo ito, hatian mo yan, hatian mo ito, hatian mo yan, ang maiinan ko is only like similar in the government of 600,000 not goes into the project. So can you imagine, that is exactly why the Philippine situation is so challenging. So ano po yung sinasabi na, bakit po natin pinag-usapan? Ang inaay po natin, hindi tayo, balikan ko po, it's about time that not only the government, but not only the business, but also the people have the lowest social media should be able now to first come together and finally, if we work together, kaya po natin ito. Maraming salamat po. Good morning and God bless you.
Maraming salamat po, former spokesperson Ernesto C. Abella. And of course, we have a very, very special guest here as well. From patriotism and nationalism, the Filipinos and Philippines, liberated independently, thrive towards sustainable country in the aspect of economic zones, tourism, and technology. So I have to pause after this. And we have our speaker this afternoon who will discuss the priding Philippines to foreign investors. Let us welcome Philippine Economic Zone Authority spokesperson and the Concurrent Communications Group Manager of PESA, Attorney Maria Liavel Chua Badillo Crisostomo.
Good afternoon, everyone. We were supposed to present earlier, but I got in late because of the traffic, and I apologize dearly. So I'm here to talk about the Philippine Economic Zone Authority. What is PEZA? If I ask you right now, if I ask everyone here, I think not everyone can really tell me what is the mandate of PEZA. So now I will try to help you guys understand a bit more of this wonderful authority. PEZA is a self-sustaining government agency. But first, what is PEZA? PEZA is the Philippine Economic Zone Authority. It is one of the investment promotions agency. May insurance po ba kayo dito? Meron, good. So, PEZA is one of the investment promotion agencies here in the Philippines. Hindi ko po memorize yung other 16, but we are under the DTI. So ano po bang ginagawa ng investment promotions agency? We are here to invite investors to come and invest in our country to bring in much needed capital growth. Para makakuha ho tayo ng mga trabaho. Bakit ho natin kailangan ng trabaho? Para ho magbigyan ho natin yung mga kababayan natin ng mas magandang buhay. So PEZA is a self-sustaining government agency created under RA number 7916, known as the Special Economic Zone Act of 1995. So yung batas po na gumawa po sa PEZA was enacted noong 1995 pa po. So medyo archaic na po siya. And meron hong bagong batas, which is the CREATE Law, which explains more about the incentives to be given to investors. So, if I ask, hindi na po ako dito sa baba, mas maganda pong matangkad. So, if I ask you guys, PEZA, hindi na nga ho natin masyadong alam. We are not much aware of what PEZA is. But if I tell you right now what PEZA can contribute and has contributed, baka sana ho, we change our minds towards what we think about PEZA. PEZA contributes about 16% of the Philippines' gross domestic product. I'm guessing that not everybody knows this. Second is, well, this, ito po, yung 79.99%. Hindi pa po yan na-update. Kasi it's actually 82% of the entire country's exports. We contribute that. And hindi lang ho kami masyadong, we are not that super flashy about our achievements, but we also give out 58.88% of service exports. What are service exports? Service exports are actually the services that we give out to other countries, which are, for example, IT centers, BPO centers, yung mga serbisyo po na binibigay po ng mga kababayan natin. So, always remember the 16% GDP, the 82% exports, and the 58.88% service exports. So, PEZA's performance since 1995 up to 2022, these are figures po eh. Pero what I can tell you about are jobs. And I know pretty much that lahat po tayo dito, we understand how important a job is. We cannot just give out band-aid solutions. We cannot just give out ayuda. But we can give jobs. We can create quality jobs. And PEZA has done just that. In every one direct job that PEZA gives, there are 5 indirect jobs. So ibig sabihin, no, it's not only the workers within the eco zones, but also those who they service out to that eco zone. So PEZA accounts for 93.43% total Philippine exports. Yan po yung sa shares natin. We already gave out $16.86 billion for the first few months of 2023. So PEZA, actually, we do every year, we always say, oh, we have done our record breaking. Pero we continue to do that because we cannot just have, you know, yung magsistay lang po kami doon, but we continue to exceed what we have set out. So PEZA hosts about 422 eco zones and 4,372 locator companies nationwide. Ano po ba yung mga eco zones? Ano po ba pwede sa mga eco zones? First are IT parks and centers. Very important po yan. Di ba sinabi ho ng ating presidente during his SONA that his 8-point socio-economic agenda consists of digitalization. So that IT parks and centers would provide better data servicing towards our consumers here in the Philippines. Second are manufacturing. 24, much important also, are our agro-industrial parks. Bakit po importante ang ating agro-industrial parks? Because the Philippines is an agricultural superpower. We have yet to hone the maximum potential of our agricultural sector. So that is very important also. Second is, of course, tourism. Third is medical tourism. And we also have new frontiers. You know, yung aerotropolis. If you think about what is an aerotropolis, aero, near an airport. So ibig sabihin ho, we would want to venture into an eco-zone development that is near an airport kasi po, buong ecosystem would be involved. Second, yan po yung madami. I would not bore you anymore. But, ito po yung, we are starting to initiate this. We already have drafted a MOA. Actually, not drafted. We have already executed a MOA together with DOST with regard to the KISS parks. KISS parks. Diba? Very new to us. What is a KISS park? A KISS park is knowledge, innovation, science, and technology parks. That is where, you know, I try to talk in Tagalog. I try to train myself to talk in Tagalog because I'm not really good. But of course, we have our visitors here. So, pasensyahan niyo ako pag call niyo. So, KISS Parks, this consists of innovation hubs. This is where our TESDA will come into play. Dito ho natin, this is where businessmen can invest their hard-earned money to make our people here more knowledgeable about science and technology. So now I'm going to talk to you about locator investments by nationality and sector. I don't think it is a surprise to you guys if the Japanese is number 1 here. The Japanese has always been number 1. Why? Because we have already established trust with them. And they have a lot invested here. Almost, I think, almost $1 trillion already invested here in the Philippines and has continued to rise above and above. And the next, of course, is Filipino, ating mga domestic mga investors. Our Filipinos, dapat nga, number 1 ang Filipinos here. But, of course, we need capital investment from other foreign direct investments. Next is American, Dutch, British, Singaporean, and Korean. So Korean, well, we are starting to have talks with them with regard to the science and technology. And I think we have heard also in the news that Koreans are pretty much into agriculture also. So hopefully, they come and invest in our country, hire more Filipinos, because the Filipinos are the best workforce in the world. Diba? Ewan ko na lang pag hindi nyo pa sinabing hindi tayo. But we are the best Filipino workforce because first, our English is subpar. Second is because our attitudes, sorry sir, perfect. Perfect. I stand corrected. Panyero. Yusek. Our English are better than most of our neighboring countries in the Southeast Asian regions. So that is why foreigners, foreign businesses always want to invest here in the Philippines because our Filipino workforce is just pretty much the best. Next is, ito medyo aakit ko lang po yung bangko namin ng konti because we're talking here. Why should we invest in PEZA? Because basically, hindi lamang recognitions locally ang nakuha namin, but globally. We got the IFC World Bank for best practice among economic zones worldwide. It's not only here in the Philippines, it's not only among the investment promotion agencies, but we got the best practices amongst all the ecozones worldwide. So we're very proud of this, and we also support sustainability. You know, guys, whenever we talk about sustainability, we only think about the environment. We only would want to credit, you know, DNR and those who handle the environment. But in our ecozones, we try our best to walk the talk. We practice what we preach about sustainability, and we also make sure that our locators and developers also practice the same. What is the strategic importance of ecozones? Kasi you might be asking, oh, attorney, bakit pa ako? Why invest in an ecozone? Why just not invest, you know, in a normal business? Why? Because firstly, productivity enhancing investments will be promoted. Our country must become an investment destination, capitalizing on the corporate recovery and tax incentives for enterprises or the create law. More on that later. Because ecozones will fully support to bring in strategic industries. So in layman's term, this is very much technical. Anong meron sa ecozone that other, you know, businesses do not have? If you invest in an ecozone, you would not only get incentives, but you would also get the protection of PEZA and that of the entire country. Because when you invest in the ecozone, first is, who wouldn't want to have VAT-free importation? Who wouldn't want to have income tax holidays for up to 17 years? 4 to 17 years of income tax holidays. And thirdly, those who would be investing here in the Philippines would not only be getting visas, but also that of their dependents. So lahat yan, naayos po namin yan. So the roadmap of PEZA basically is bring in more investments. Bring in more money here in the Philippines. Let us make the lives of our Filipinos better by giving them jobs, by creating an ecosystem wherein money is given to everyone and not just one. I think I've talked about, as my Panyero Yusek said, we are not subpar. We are the best workforce in the Philippines, in the world. So, and bakit po sa PEZA again? I don't want to talk about the other IPAs because pare-pareho naman pong magagaling lahat yan. But PEZA boasts of something that no other IPA can boast of. First is, we adhere to the no red tape, only red carpet treatment. What is the no red tape and only red carpet treatment? Basically, ayaw ho namin ng matagal. Ayaw ho namin ng delay. Sa amin ho sa PEZA, lahat po ng papers, all of the papers will be completed. This is a promise sa PEZA ho, within 20 to 30 days. And why red carpet treatment? Why red carpet treatment? Because these people who invest their hard-earned money in the Philippines do not only deserve, you know, protection and help with their compliances, but they deserve the respect of not making them wait, not making them endure corruption. That is why, always remember, only PEZA gives out the hard-earned commitment of no red tape, only red carpet treatment. And syempre ho, meron din ho tayo dito sa one-stop shop. If you invest in PEZA, you will not be paying any local government permits, fees, ECCs. No. The ECCs, we're gonna help you get that from DNR. The ECC basically po is one driver. You cannot get a tenurial instrument without an ECC, Environmental Compliance Certificate. You get that from the EMB of any PNR. So next, 7 priority sectors. This is where we want our foreigners to invest. First is advanced manufacturing. This is very important because manufacturing gives out exports. We can contribute more if we have more manufacturing enterprises here in the Philippines. Second is extractives, green ores processing. Third, agricultural and blue industries. And of course, IT services and frontier technologies, renewable energy, yung KISS parks, and integration. Ito po yung importante. Ito po yung na-explain ko kaninang innovation hubs. And to integration of the SMEs. Siyempre, when we think about ecozones, we think about the 1% of the Philippines. We think about yung mga may kayang magbigay ng 5 billion. Those who can invest, billions of money into the ecozone. But we want the SMEs to take benefit also of this. Our small, medium enterprises must also be included in the growth. How? When we integrate the SMEs into the ecozone value chain, sa ecosystem po, these SMEs can also reap out yung benefit from that when the people from the ecozones go out of the said ecozone. So when we integrate the SMEs, not only with the middle class be helped out, but also those in the lower. The Philippines, this is very, mabigat. The Philippines is the most promising and best performing economy in ASEAN because we have what it takes for any foreign investor who wants to introduce their product or create their product in the Philippines in order to supply and cater to the domestic and world market. I think those who are working in the government know about this. The ease of doing business. Right? The ease of doing business. Pag wala ho tayong ease of doing business, no foreigner would want to invest here. Ease of doing business, ARTA, those who would want their permits to be processed within that certain time that the government has prescribed. So doon po tayo dapat umangat lalo. We should help out our foreign investors to have more, to gain more respect by giving them the ease of doing business. And that is what we want in PEZA to develop more. So, this is the end na po of my presentation. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, the PEZA spokesperson, Atty. Maria Yavel C. Platillo Crisostomo. We will start investing tomorrow. But you know, that's so true, ha? Alam mo, Yavel, that's very true because I noticed most of the provinces with PEZA, Cavite, they all actually became very, the economy around. Laguna, yes. The one in Bataan, is it still there? It's a private one in Bataan. At this point, I'd like to introduce to you the person who is in charge of everything here. And the person who is also helping us all to have a good lunch. Lunch na ba? Or dinner? Can I give you the founder of the Filipinos World, Miss Agnes Alimbog? There is Agnes.
Thank you, Carla and Raymond. First and foremost, I'd like to thank everyone for coming over. We have here, of course, General Thompson Lantion. Let's give him a round of applause, please. And can we announce? Not yet. He's the incoming Secretary of the Department of Transportation. So, come June, end of June, he'll be appointed as the new Secretary of Department of Transportation. Of course, we have also ASEC Benny Legaspe from Department of Migrant Workers. Thank you so much, ASEC Legaspe. And I suppose ASEC Rica Bueno was here earlier. She left already? She's still here. All right. She stepped outside. You have here the handsome debonair, the USEC of Department of Foreign Affairs, Eduardo De Vega. Thank you so much, sir. Attorney Leah Badillo, Maria Leah Bell, Leah Chrysostomon, masyadong mataas, mahaba. As spokesperson ng narinig niyo lang kanina. We have from the international community, can I just recognize Mr. Jesper how do you pronounce Jesper? Svengsen, okay, he's the executive director of the Nordic Chamber of Commerce. Let's give him a round of applause, please. We have also here Mr. Michael, I forgot the family name, Michael now. Come again? Nielsen, brand strategist or brand specialist strategist of the Perlay Corporation. Yeah, let's give him also a round of applause. We have here Mr. Bertito Hashimoto, Bertito Hashimoto, the president of Dreamscape Holdings. Yes, sir. And together with him is his friend from World Bank Treasury Department. Am I right? Ruben? Edmond Ruby. Is that correct? Yeah. He's here also with us. Thank you so much, sir. On the table 4, I would have memorized the names, but let's give a round of applause from the Rotary Club of Makati Jose Rizal, headed by Glomar Fori and Miss Elizabeth Raboy, and together with Miss Lita Wells. Thank you so much for coming over here. We have here from the OFW sector, headed by Mr. Bong Guro. He is the president and national chair of the Alliance Worldwide Organizations or Incorporated. And together here is from the Department of Agrarian Reform, Director Randy Frugosa. Randy, thank you so much for coming. I would not I wouldn't forget this. He had come himself. He's a busy guy. The chairman and president of the Aguila Group of Companies, Mr. Nelson Aguila. Sir, you have to stand. And of course, friends of Raymond Villanueva, Miss Rose Lico. She just wanted to watch and attend in here. We have also the president of the Kapisanan ng mga Broadkaster na Pilipinas, Calabarzon region, Mr. Roy Bato, who is also a partner in here. We have also the president and founder of the Euro TV News, Mr. Danilo Mangahas. He will also be speaking right now. And I would like to recognize also the national president and the founder and National President of the Arts Patriots, Ms. Dr. Maria Socorro Malitao. Together with some entrepreneurs here, Ronaldo Ramos, Lambert Tan, and Enteng Yu. And we have also Barangay Kagawads from Camp Crame. Sir, I must have forgotten your names. Can you please rise? They're all up there. Supporting this event for this afternoon. We have 16 vloggers of General Lantion all the way. They're at the back of this room. Thank you so much for coming. We have Joe Datuin. He is a visual Olympian, if he's still around, or he's not no longer, but he's here with us. And of course, from MWell of Metro Pacific Investment, thank you so much. They're the ones who give smartwatches for our speakers. And later, if you want to get a smartwatch, you can download MWell from your app, from your Play Store. This event wouldn't be possible without the coordination and the support of the tagapagtaguyod ng sining at kultura ng Pilipinas, led by the founder, Dr. Liza Villa Sr. Let's give her a round of applause, please. She's just at the backstage, but she's one of the artists, curator, sculptor, artists that we should be recognized of. Her paintings and this sculpture artwork are displayed in the new PMP Museum. And thank you so much for those I haven't recognized. Thank you for coming over. I would let our MCs have the rest because I know they were so tired. And please bear with us. This has been a 3-hour program, and I suppose we just come together once in a lifetime celebrating the Independence Day. And of course, as what former spokesperson Ernesto Abella said, we tend to forget the celebration of our independence. We tend to forget that we Filipinos do have our mission. And we tend to forget that we come as one, gather as one, because we have to fight for that independence from now and going forward. At this juncture, may I call on the National Secretary General of Tugpuyog, Pilipinas, and according to him, and may not according to him, more of which because he's part of he's part of this government who works so hard to make this nation a better one. Let's call on a good friend of mine, Dr. Janel Tiope.
Marami pong salamat sa inyong lahat. Now, my topic would be more on the call to unity for national development. So I am Dr. Rodolfo John Ortiz Tiope. I am not a medical doctor. I am a doctor of organizational development, doctor of education, doctor of mathematics, and doctor of environmental science, and doctor of business administration. I finished it all, so I've written so much dissertation. Now, on this aspect is that when I was near here, when I was looking at the preparation, I saw a booth. There was a booth there. Be My Beauty. That's the booth itself. So the idea itself of having an independent country and celebrating is for us to appreciate the beauty of our country. Now, they say that the call to unity, so that this government would really prosper and would work better. Now, at that point, they say that the unity itself is very important. In Proverbs 14 and 19, it said, let us therefore make efforts to achieve peace and mutual edification, which means that the idea that we'd like to do right now is that for our government to prosper and for our government to what? To progress. Siguro tatagalogin ko minsan ang aking pananalita base sa aking pakiramdam at pusong nakikita sa bawat Pilipino na aking nakaharap ngayon. Alam niyo po, ano ba ang kailangan ng pagkakaroon ng isang pagkakaisa? Simple lang po naman yan eh. Unang-una, kailangan natin tandaan ang mga values, tandaan ang mga konteksto para magkaroon ng isang Pilipinas na nagkakaisa, mamamayang nagkakaisa, mga riyong nagkakaisa. For us to realize unity, progress, and change, first, we need to look at the first letter T. And what is this? Trust. Filipinos must know how to trust each other. Pag wala po tayong pananampalataya at paniniwala sa isa't isa, ay hindi natin makikita ang totoong pagbabago at pagkakaisa. There is also practice of healthy skepticism, but still, trust is very important. In business, if there's no trust, we cannot end transactions. In government, if we have no trust in the one running in the election, we will not vote for that person. So trust is important. Next is that we need to look at the letter I. What is I? We should have integrity. We cannot realize unity and change and progress if we ourselves do not have the integrity. I cannot preach what I cannot do. I'm doing something, I say, do that, wag kang magnakaw, pero nagnanakaw ka pa rin sa pamahalaan. So integridad ang kailangan para sa pagbabago. Ang isa po na sunod ay letter M na tinatawag, motivation. Even if we have the trust and even if we have the integrity, but we are not motivated enough to move for the progress and unity of this country. Kaya nga, ano ba yung motivasyon na yon? Alam ko na may pagbabago, alam ko na magkakaroon tayo ng isang progreso sa ating bayan, pero ayaw nating kumilos. Dapat kumilos ang bawat Pilipino. The next is letter P. Principle, prinsipyo. Kanina may speaker tayo nag-discuss Filipinism. She said that she researched Filipinism on the internet. I've been working on Filipinism so much in my life that it is in the context of an ideological point of view. Simple lang po ang Pilipinismo. Pilipino at ismo. Anong ibig sabihin ng ismo? Sistema. Sistemang Pilipino. Ano ang sistemang Pilipino? Nabanggit natin ang mga katangian ng Pilipino. Mabait, di ba? We have all the workers abroad who are ambassadors to our country, promoting the nation. Di ba? That is the Filipino system. The Filipino system na masipag, matyaga. I remember when I was talking to a diplomat and also in the Timor-Leste, wherein I am also the consultant of the Ministry of Investment. They like Filipino to work in Timor-Leste. And also in Congo. Sabi lang, we like Filipino to work in Congo, specifically construction. Bakit? Kasi daw yung ordinaryong manggagawa, katumbas na ng isang inhinyero sa kanila. Ganon kagaling ang ating mga kababayang Pilipino. Palakpakan po natin ang mga Pilipino ating kababayan. Prinsipyo ang kailangan. If there is no principle, we could not change. That's why, if we would vote for something, vote for someone, we look at the principle of that person. But the sad thing is that sometimes you do not look at the principle per se. We look at also the thing that I like him not because of the principle, but it's more of the what? The camaraderie. Now, T-I-M-P. Principle na, no? What is T? Trust, integrity, motivation, and principle. The next is letter U. We should be unafraid. When you say unafraid, Filipinos are unafraid. They look at for something, for us to come up with the genuine unity and progress, dapat hindi tayo matakot sa pagbabago. Minsan yung change, minsan natatakot tayo eh. And that unafraid system is that dapat tugunan natin na tayo ay kaya natin to. Kanina there were mention of nationalism and patriotism. Didn't you know that there's a big difference between nationalism and patriotism? Nationalism means it is more of an emotional concept. Wherein, I know I love my country, but it ends in loving my country. But in patriotism, it is an intellectual concept that I love my country and I would work hard for my country and I would dedicate my life for the progress and change of my country. So we should be all patriots. Everybody could be a nationalist, but you could be a patriot. So we should be unafraid, afraid to die, and unafraid to die, to work hard for our nation. The next letter is that trust, integrity, motivation, principle, and unafraid. The next is we should learn to yield. When you say learn to yield, matuto tayong magbigay sa kapwa. Matuto magpakumbaba. Di ba pag sa daan, there's a yield sign. And what is the yield sign? We should learn to stop. Self-examination sometimes is important. But the thing is that, sugod ng sugod, maraming nasasagasaan, paano magkakaisa kung tayo ay hindi bumubusina at tayo ay diretso-diretso lamang. So trust, integrity, motivation, principle, unafraid, and we should learn to yield. The next is letter O. And what is letter O? We should always be objective on our thinking. Do not be subjective, because being subjective is that there's a problem. Sometimes we have become so judgmental and being subjective. Just like when we go to transactions, when we go to looking at for change, there's always a pre-judgmental attitude that this person is something bad, or this organization or this transaction would not go on. Objectivity is important for us to look at unity and progress. And the last is letter G. And this is the very important value that the Filipino have. Ito po yung isang value na kung saan ang bawat Pilipino ay maaari nating sabing kakaiba sa buong mundo. At ito po ay gratitude. We should know how to pay back gratitude. Utang na loob. Diba? Pag may ginawa sa ating maganda, anong gagawin natin? Gumanti rin tayo ng kagandahan. Pag gumawa ng pangit, gumanti pa rin tayo ng kabutihan. For us to realize all these things, and let us now spell it. Trust, integrity, motivation, principle, unity, yield, objective, and gratitude. In short, that is Timpuyog. Timpuyog. What is Timpuyog? And that is the organization that we've been handling. Timpuyog means it is a gathering of men for a great cause. All of the people right here are great men with a great cause and a great purpose. We are not here just to attend the Independence Day because we have advocacy, principles, and visions that we like to do in our country. Kaya nga, Timpuyog tayong lahat na sinasabi. Timpuyog is an Ilocano term. Timpuyog is an Ilocano term for organization, and when you Google that, it means gathering of great men and women for a good cause. And I am now in front of people who are gathered for a great cause. Lahat na nandito ngayon ay mga tao na kung saan may mga prinsipyo, integridad, motibasyon, at marunong tumanaw ng utang na loob para paglingkuran ang ating bayan. So sa puntong yan, let us go back again dun sa sinabing kong verse na muna. Let us make effort towards the realization of peace and mutual edification. The celebration of the Independence Day is that we always commemorate this because it symbolizes the integrity of the Filipino, the bravery that we won the independence. Kaya hindi lang to simbolikong selebrasyon. Ito ay sumisimbolo ng bawat katapangan ng bawat isa sa atin at dedikasyon sa pagbabago. So, for this unity to be realized, we should always be a Timpuyog. Let us gather men for a good cause. Let us work for a good cause. And towards that good cause, there is a vision of an independent Philippines and an independent Filipino looking for growth and development. Sa madaling salita, tayo po ay magkaisa, sumigaw sa pagbabago, magsama-sama ang bawat Pilipino para sa kaiunlad ng ating bayan at gobyerno. Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat.
Thank you so much. Timpuyog, everybody. So it's a gathering. Thank you, Dr. Tiope.
All right, now of course, we have a very special performance.
And more food is coming already. Diba? At this point, ladies and gentlemen, we have so much theater because we have 250 other speakers who are joining us. They're all lining up there. Oh, wait for your turn. We're coming now. So, we're supposed to have another speaker, but she did not arrive. So, we will put her in our, what's this, X list.
Ayan na.
Since hindi siya dumating. So, at this point, as Filipinos, how do we take a path in discussing a better place to live? Diba? That's what Mr. John Tiope mentioned.
Yeah, how do we do that, right?
Diba? And it's a spirit. It's a unity. It's being putting Filipinos all together, especially in the word lafang. So at this point,
explain please.
Lafang is a very exotic word in front of you.
Okay.
Okay. So we have a special part of this program, which in a way is also encompasses why we are celebrating this Independence Day.
It's a special performance.
Actually.
Mm-hmm.
So, please clear the dance floor. Okay?
Magsitabi kayong lahat. Because it's time. It's party time. We have to go here. Please do the honors of introducing the tribe for.
Okay, we have here a special performance. Okay, look, as Filipinos, we also include our indigenous peoples because that's where we come from. We came from a Malay tribe. And we're glad to have here this evening or afternoon Dato Kiel of Tiboli tribe who's gonna be performing a Thanksgiving dance. Let's give him a round of applause, please.
Hindi ka niya yata yung people niya.
Nagulat ako.
From the Tiboli tribe, thank you so much. At this point,
May we call on Miss Agnes. It's your turn.
You know what's funny about our MCs? Because all the way from their laughter to their tiredness, this does speak on. And thank you so much. Can we give ourselves a round of applause, please? Because, you know, General Lantion was here so early, and I would recognize for a general to come over here and still here with us at this evening. Thank you so much, General. Without further ado, let us introduce somebody. And of course, he's not somebody anymore. He will ask everyone to do a pledge of allegiance. The incoming Secretary of the Department of Transportation, the retired Police General Thompson Lantia, please.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat. Ako po si General Gentong G.T. Lanchon. Dati pong former Undersecretary of Transportation and Communications. Number one, Yung pong mga 16 vloggers dito, hindi po ako may-ari niyan. Ang may-ari po niyan si Senator Amy. At sila Daryl Yap po. Pangalawa, yung pong pagiging Secretary of Transportation, napapalitan ko si Secretary Jimmy Bautista, there is no truth to the rumor about that. Marites ka din. Ngunit nais ko munang ipaliwanag ang aming hanay. Ako po ang Secretary General ng Partido Federal ng Pilipinas at ang ating National Chairman sa hanay na yan, ang Pangulong 17th President of the Republic of the Philippines, Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. Ito po ang aming inibigyan ng diin at pansin. Nung ako'y pinatawag ng ating mahal na Pangulo sa kanyang tahanan sa Makati, ang sabi niya, General, ako'y sasapi sa inyong hanay ng Partido Federal because I believe in its core principles. What are the core principles? Number one is the belief in God. Paniniwala sa ating may kapal. Whether you are Catholic, Protestant, Muslim, naniniwala tayo sa may kapal. Number two is humanism, giving human dignity for every individual. Number three, sinabi nga ni Professor John Chope, you should be a candidate for senator because of your speech today. We call it patriotic federalism, wherein you will defend its concepts, vision, and mission for its realization. Number four is our enchanted or enhanced socialism, giving job generation for every individual to improve their livelihoods, their knowledge to improve their lives. And the last of the core principles is participatory democracy, direct democracy. And he told me, President, he was a senator then, I mean, General, we have to give power to the people, especially the barangays and the local government units. So with that, in a nutshell, is our Partido Federal ng Pilipinas. So the plan for that would be in the intervening period, maybe Congress will be transformed into a parliament. Gusto niyo ba yun? Power to the people. Diba? Ang nag-object lang ata. Anyway, that's it. I'll give this federalism DNA to you, Agnes, so that you'll not be a member of the Marites. Okay. And for the others, our guests from the other side of the world or the other countries, I have some copies here for your reading. Meron ba dyan, John? So that we'll give it to you for your, yes. Okay. So maraming salamat. Now I'll read now the oath of allegiance or oath. Dito ba?
Yes, can we all stand or distinguished guests to the pledge of allegiance?
Sino bang gumawa nito? Si Director, ano? Mukhang gulat ako dyan. Ipakitaas sa kanang kamay at sumunod po sa akin. At kung kanang kamay, except the foreign guest. Kanang kamay, hindi kaliwa. Kasi pag kaliwa, PDP laban yun eh. Ako si inyong pangalan ay buong puso na nag-aalay ng katapatan sa bansang Pilipinas, kung saan magigiting na lahi ay sinilang at kung saan ay dama natin ang lakas at sipag ng tao na mamuhay ng masagana at may dangal, ang aking gagampanan ang lahat ng mga tungkulin na may pagmamahal at katapatan. Ako ay maglilingkod sa aking bayan ng buong katapatan at may pananalig sa Diyos. Inaalay ko ang lahat ng aking mga pangarap at pagsisikap para sa tagumpay ng pagkakaisa at kalayaan. Maging katumbas man ito ng aking buhay para sa ating minamahal na Pilipinas. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas!
Thank you so